Alright, so I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, and let's build the hair. Okay, so we'll build it for the right first, because the right is the more complicated one. Like this is the longer hair. So this is the one that we need to worry about, and then we'll build the shorter one. Okay, so we just start off with a hair generate again. And we'll plug in the, okay, so we need the skin. So the skin comes from here, and then the hair comes from there. And again, the name of the group is, yeah, right, okay. It wasn't showing it, you can just type in the name. Okay, so this is fine. Let's just increase the quantity and let's give it the color as well. So we'll just come down to the appearance, point attributes, and type CD. So you'll get color. Take this to about, so first set the skin attribute. So we have the density being controlled, and then take the density to about, try about 150,000. Yeah, so you'll get like a really dense set of hair. Yeah, there you go. See, so you're getting like a pretty decent result right now. We don't need to do too much here. You can just increase the influence radius if you want, but don't increase it too much. I want the shape to be, relatively decent. You can increase or decrease the guide count. Yeah, like lesser guide count gives you a more, distinct shape. I think it's looking better right now. And you can see the layering, like, which is nice. Let's keep it about 4. I think 4 is okay. Okay, so this is good. I think maybe I should come to the guide group, temporarily disconnect the skin, and just sort of push this out a little bit. You will have to make adjustments later on. Like it's not going to be, and then like connect the skin back. The reason we connect the skin back is because the skin from the guide groom itself is feeding, to everything else. So if I remove it from here, this line won't work anymore. So you'll have to bring it in from the actual geometry. So yeah, so this is good, where, with one step is done. Okay, then we want to adjust let's adjust the length of it. And I also want to give it some frizz. Okay, like make it a little bit wavy. So let's also do a frizz. So we'll take the frizz, and the same thing, we want the skin. The reason we want the skin is because the skin has attributes, right? So we'll plug in the guides and plug in the skin. Now this is a bit too much. I don't want this. So take the frequency down to about 2, which gives you like relatively, a relatively bigger wave. And then I just want the frizz to happen towards the top, like not on the sides. So take the override to skin attribute and call it blend, and see. So you're only getting like the attribute, the frizz happening at the top and not on the sides. Okay, and then we plug this in here. Ooh, okay, that's relatively short here. So we're going to change the mode from set to multiply, and scale factor to skin attribute and call it long. And there you go. See, you're getting like you're actually getting those layers. Okay, and if we change this to like shade open viewport, there you go. See, so that looks pretty decent now. We don't want to do that right now. Let me just save this. And so this is good. So now the only thing left is to do clumping. Okay, so let's take a clump. So we'll do a hair clump and plug in the guides and the skin. Okay, lower the blend, we need to adjust it immediately. So we'll take skin attribute, and again we'll take blend, and there you go. So nothing happens on the side. Lower the blend size a lot. See, there you go. That looks nice. And or maybe keep it about there. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of things. I want to increase the stray rate a little bit. And then I want to take the fractal clumping a little higher. And lastly, we just want to give it a little bit of curling. So just increase that. See, so your hair, will curl like that. Okay. And so if I switch on shade viewport, there you go. Oh, this is pretty decent. See, and then towards the back, we're getting it like fading out. So it looks pretty nice. Okay. Okay, and the nice thing is, if you've set everything properly, you can just directly copy paste this to the other side. So I can just take all of this, do Control C, Control V. Okay, let's disconnect both of these. This side, we'll now call it left. And we want the skin and we want the guides. And if I've done everything, there you go. So if we merge it, we get all of this, and then this was the skin which we had, so I can just plug that in. Yeah, there you go. So this is fairly simple and decent. Now one more thing that I want to do is I want to fill it up a little more. Like you're seeing like gaps in the middle, and it's like the thing with the gaps is we don't have any shadows right now. Like when you add lights, so if I add in like a light and I start getting in shadows, then it'll look a little bit better. See, so once it has shadows in there, it doesn't look as bad. But another thing that we can do is, let me just get the hair clumping a little bit bigger. No, I think this is fine. Okay, so the other thing I like doing is you generate, like you need stray hair. Like if you look here, then you can see a lot of stray hair. Okay, that is what we need to generate. So what we do is we take the base hair generate, we'll do a Control C, Control V. Also, I want to take the hair count itself and make it about like 250,000. Yeah, there you go. So that looks better. Okay. With something like this, just up the quantity, it looks better. And one more thing is with the hair clump, like change the type from extrude and blend to linear blend. Linear blend will look better for this. Yeah, there you go. Linear blend does look better. Yeah, perfect. This is much better. So change it for the other side as well. Okay, like change this to linear blend. Yeah. You can pick and choose what you want, but see, there you go. So that looks a lot better almost immediately. Okay, so how do you generate stray hair? Is we take this and you lower the quantity a lot. Okay, like really a lot. And then we'll take both of these, do Control C, Control V. So this and that. And what we do is we take the frizz and like really increase it a lot. And what that will do is it will give me like additional stray hair. So you define like how much frizz you want, but that gives you the ability to sort of, fill up the gaps. And we can also come to, like in the guide process, do one thing, which is instead of keeping it to like a single scale, you can use a randomize and set both to long. But it gives you the ability to, just randomize the length. So I can just, like lower it a little bit if I want to. But do that here. Okay, like set it to randomize, skin attribute. Yeah, and then just, like lower it. See, so that lets you fill up the whole thing much better. And you can then just define the quantity, like how much you want. If you define it too much, then the clumping disappears. Like you can't see the clumps anymore. So you kind of like find a balance. And then we do a Control C, Control V. So take all of this, do Control C, Control V, and take it for the other side. So just, disconnect that. And then we get this and that. Yeah, and hold on. So this will be left. Yeah. So there you go. So you have like a nice little. So then if you want to go back and like, readjust the attributes a little bit or, paint a little bit more, then you can adjust those things. Like if I come here, let's say I want the, the bangs in the front to be a little bit longer, then I can do those things. So I can just come in here and take adjust length and maybe, make these guys a little bit longer. So then you can just up the quantity and maybe adjust a little bit more, and but that's basically it. So you can just like, I think this should be, I can try and lift it up a little more towards the back. Yeah, so there you go. So this is how you can build a hairstyle. As I said, it's a bit of work, but the final result is usually worth it. And as I said, it's mostly about just, finesse. Like if you're building an actual hairstyle, have a reference. Like don't directly, just start drawing something. It usually ends up looking really bad. If you have a reference, it's easier to work with. And yeah, paint in your attributes and just, comb it a little bit. It looks nice. Okay, so this is the first hairstyle. And then the next one we'll do a slightly longer hairstyle, like something about shoulder length. Uh, what we'll do with that one is some of the process might remain the same, but we're going to try and we'll plant our own guides. Okay, so if you want to like build up a hairstyle from scratch, like without using the hair generate, so we'll use plant guides and actually like build a hairstyle in that sense. So that's what we'll take a look at in the next lesson.